Chico Hot Springs. So what this is a resort, and it is located in Paradise Valley. I mean, how great is that? Paradise Valley, and it really is like paradise. It's a beautiful valley. This is the valley that you would take on your way from Bozeman into Yellowstone. Chico Hot Springs is located maybe about 15 to 30 minutes outside of the gate for Yellowstone National Park, outside of the North Gate. This is a really old resort. This was created around 1900. So people would come and stay here, and then they'd take the old horse and carriage into Yellowstone through Roosevelt Arch. Really pretty cool. So staying here is kind of like going back in time, and that's the whole idea of it. They have many different lodging options here. They have their regular old original hotel, which is where we stayed in, and it's quite basic. There's no TV, no phone connection, no internet, and that's the whole point of it, is you want to disconnect and slow down. No AC.
And shared bathrooms.
And shared bathrooms, that's right. So that's where we stayed, which was kind of in the original building, which you can see behind me here, that little white and green building right there. But then since then, they've added on a lot. So they have some covered wagons that you can stay in. They have many different lodging opportunities for all budgets. So that's pretty cool. You have a lot of options to stay. And then when you stay here, you are given free entry into their hot springs. Okay, so the hot springs is, of course, one of their famous things that they're known for here. So the hot spring is really more like a swimming pool, but the water is a natural hot spring coming from the hills here. So it's warm. I think at one point it's like 102 degrees or something, and then down at the other end it's like 80 something degrees.
98.
98, that's right. Yeah, so 98 degrees to 100 something degrees. So it's really kind of like a swimming pool, but you can sit in there and just enjoy a soak as well if you want to do that. So that's a couple of things that there are to do here. There's also horseback rides. They have a barn here that you can do some horseback rides off of here. They have many other adventure activities. You can rent some paddle boards and some water sports and things like that. They have a very cute little Chico gift shop here that we got some lavender donuts. What are they called?
Lemon lavender.
Lemon lavender donuts. So anyway, this is just, and then they have a garden out there. You can just go sit out in the trees in the garden area and just relax. That's the whole point of Chico Hot Springs, is come here to relax. Now, if you were visiting here for Yellowstone, we generally don't recommend staying far outside of the park as a jumping off point. We want to stay either in the park or kind of right next to the entrances to the park. So Gardiner is down the road here, and Gardiner, Montana was hit by the floods this year. Gardiner, Montana is right on the border of Yellowstone. And then over on the other side is West Yellowstone. That's also right on the west entrance border to Yellowstone. We say try to stay in those two towns or within the park. But a lot of people are coming out here and they're okay to do a lot of driving, and so we've talked to plenty of people who are staying in these little resorts kind of near Yellowstone that are maybe about 30 minutes away from the entrance. And that's fine too if you're okay with doing a lot of driving. The thing is, Yellowstone, once you get into the park, now the driving really begins. So that's why we suggest staying closer to the park. But again, you can stay here just as part of your trip, or you can stay here as a jumping off point to Yellowstone. Both are common.
I was going to say something I thought would be nice would be just their hot springs are open until 11, and so it'd be nice to get in the hot springs after a day of sightseeing. It'd be really relaxing.
Exactly, and that's kind of my tip for you here, is to typically get in the hot springs in the evening or early in the morning. It opens at 7 o'clock, and so people like to just get in there early in the morning, these kind of cool Montana mornings, and watch the sun rise over the hill while you're in the hot springs. Or yes, getting in after you see Yellowstone would be a pretty cool thing to do as well. Okay, one of the other main things to do here at Chico is to eat at the dining room. So you need reservations for this, and it's pretty expensive. It probably runs you around $100 to $150 for two to eat in the dining room. Quite a fancy thing, and it's actually something that is frequented by Hollywood stars and has been for quite some time. So it's kind of a famous little place. They have actually shot the television show Yellowstone, the Yellowstone TV show, here, right very close to here. And so some of the actors have come through here, and it's kind of been long. Montana in itself has kind of been like a Hollywood place to go for quite some time. Whitefish, Montana is a popular place, and down here is kind of a popular place too for some actors. So anyway, the dining room, upscale dining room, that's great. They have a poolside grill that we ate at, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, so just, Chico Hot Springs, come and relax and get away from it all and come to the mountains.